So this is the HDD. I'm trying to figure out where these go. Let's see, the colored one is the positive. Okay. Make sure I get the right orientation here. Forward, there's 6 that way. In case it goes like this. Or another alternative. Careful where you're going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some weight on this thing. So it doesn't... I have to put some weight on it. This is what I need to reference. Because without those wires, and without them being in there correctly, I'm otherwise not going to have a computer anymore. And I'll have to blow another $500 or whatever to replace that. But this is otherwise... this isn't... Alright, what was the one I just had? It was orange. There's the orange one. Okay, this is the orange one. That's the HDD LED. So the positive is on the left. So it must mean it goes in like this. Of course, these colors are oddly mismatched. Why that in there is marked as being blue. The manual would take priority in this case. Yep. HD. Yep, that's got to be it right there. Let's see. Positive on the left. Straight down with it. Okay, now I got the LED for the hard disk activity up and going. This one's power switch. Where are you? Okay, at the 1-1 position, positive on the left. 1-1 position, so it must be that odd spot. Okay, yep. Positive on the left. Mess. Mess. Well, you really need fine precision for manipulating these things. Okay. Get my hair out of the way. And this one is unmarked as to what it is, so I'll leave that one alone for now. The gray one, that's the reset switch. Okay, it's at the 1-0, positive on the right. Okay, so it goes in like this. Can I get these wires straighter? At least a little bit straighter. Get out of my face. You in there at all? And it's lined up. Okay. Then I got this green one. Oh, and there's a yellow one down here. Wonder how you got down. And what do you know? It's caught on something. Well, that ain't it. Okay. Where's the other end of this at? There it is. Speaker. Speaker is this big monster. It's the 4x1 with positive on the left. So it goes in like this. This SATA cable's causing problems. Gotta get this out of the way. Positive on the left. Yep, okay. Okay. There's that, and then, well, there's this unknown that's got no marking as to what it is. Okay, there's a MUSG and a CL. What is a CL? Oh. Huh. I have no idea what one this is supposed to be. That is a weird one. It's either the MSG for message, for system status basically. Okay. So it's either got to be message because I don't think this case has that intrusion thing in it at all. So, if I remember, I think it was message. So, since I doubt my computer has that chassis intrusion thing, and if I remember the previous one was message, so I'm fairly certain this one is message. So that means it's at the 0-1 position with positive on the left. 0-1 with positive on the left. Get this hair out of my eyes. Mess. Okay. Now they got all these connected. Make sure they're firmly seated. And then I'm otherwise good to go. Oh yeah, there's one last thing that I just now remembered. I needed the mounting screws. I need to mount the rest of this. Let's see, those are all the flat type. Yep, that looks like it. So I guess I'll make a fifth anchor point. That ain't gonna work. Screw ain't long enough. Those screws won't work. So, I guess that's as far as that's gonna go. Checking all the others. Okay. The case fan still works, good. This, let's see. That's the power for that, that's power for that. So those are both connected. There's a SATA and SATA cable there. SATA and power there. This one's got the RAM, it's got that. It's a 24-pin connector. The audio doesn't matter in my case because I got my own sound card. Sys fan 2. Got the front USB, so I got that one connected. I don't need clear CMOS. Okay. PCI Express. Got a lot of those. Designed in Taipei. Okay, so it's made in Taiwan, basically. Well, I guess that's otherwise it, because I don't see anything else I'm missing. The RAM will come a little later. And I'll be repeating this when I get my new RAM. I got the 12-volt connector, I got the CPU fan. I don't see anything else I'm missing. So, let's see. Okay, get some mounting screws. This side, we'll need a minimum of at least 2. Mess. Starting with my hand helps a lot too. Let's see, I'll take this one as well. Are you getting excited to see what this result of my computer will be like?
I want to see if it works, yeah.
I want to see just how much faster this thing really is. Oh boy, this one's off at a screwy angle. Got it started. Okay. Mess. Okay, there's that. So I guess now I need to put this cover on. Make sure these holes all line up. Yeah. Mount this cover on at least. Miss. Yeah, duh, start with my hands. I could do so much better that way. And the last of my screws here. Okay. That's strange. What's different? It's unusually loose. Is this on a finer screw or something? Ah, this one's wider. Okay, that explains it. So where am I using the other one at? At the very least, I need one. Or one thing I want to check. Kind of screws. That one went in real good. Oh, that's why. That's where that other one went. I don't know why I'm using it on this. Yep. That was it. That was the problem. Okay. And it figures. Where did this one come from? All four of those have the same head. Yeah. Okay, I guess then. How stable? Oh yeah, you're nice and stable. So, I guess I can just leave that alone. Another flipperoo. Alright, okay, there it is. I'd say it's good enough. It's more than secure. So just wiggled it around and couldn't even get it to move. Yeah. Duh, I looked right at it. I'll just rotate it.
Alright, thanks.
Get these started by hand first, since it's so much easier. This one over here is copied. And then the screwdriver to finish the job. Don't get him on too tight. And now I need to flip this thing around again. Okay, now what to do with all these extra wires? Yep, chances are they're going in here, which is where I put them last time, if I remember. Except, yeah, I need to rotate this thing so I can work on it easier. Got all these loose wires all over the place. Okay, what is this? Make sure none of these wires are approaching any of the metal stuff over there. Make sure there's not any pressure on any of these components. Well, yeah. Correct that. Untangle as well, since I'm at it. This. Tuck it in there. In a nice spacious case, I have a lot of room to work with. It's one of the reasons I got it. Also helps with the airflow too. So, is that everything then? Nope, that's already connected to something. Need to temporarily disconnect this because it's tangled up. Okay. There we go. Now it's no longer tangled up. Shuffling wires around. Okay, alright, get you back. Reconnect. That's the case fan, that's a definite must. Let's see, any other stray wires? Well, I guess that's otherwise it then. I'll leave that off for now, so that way I can quickly get back into it in case I have to make some big corrections. This, I guess I'll just put here for now. This, we'll go with this, so that way I can advertise it as a complete set. And list it on eBay. Let's see, that's the front and that's the bottom there, so it needs to be rotated this way. Yeah! Up it goes! Whoa, whoa, watch the speed. Well, I need to plug in pretty much every aspect or component I have. That's the next stage of the process. Of course, you need to tangle times -1 these wires. That is, untangle. Okay, where's the sound card at? Microphone port. Yeah. And what is that other one at? Oh, there it is. I'll have to, I'm not sure exactly which of these goes to which, but it's easy enough to fix if I have to. Oh. Square. Where does this go to? Oh, this is the mouse. This has to go into one of the USB ports. Come on, thank you. Okay. Yeah, boy, do I got a lot of tangled up cords here. I don't know what this goes to. I know it's not my MP3 player because that's a really short one. Okay, what is this? It's got to be keyboard. Yep. Okay. Six USB ports to deal with, which is really nice. What is this? Oh yeah, this is the mouse. I'll put that with the keyboard. Alright. Am I getting resistance? There we go. This one goes to my printer. Oh boy. Yeah, should probably get a replacement on that, but mouse, printer are bare essentials, at least. Keyboard, mouse, and printer. So, then the other four can be pretty much for whatever. Things I frequently use, for example. Where does this go to? No idea. I need to mark these things. Okay, what is this? That's already connected. That's the microphone, and it is already connected. That's an old one. This shouldn't even belong over here because my current one's white. Speaking of that, where is that one? I don't know. I'll bother with that a little later anyway. No, it's right here. Duh. Of course, I don't need internet right now anyway either. Let's see. Left. Throw. Let's see, what does this thing go to? Ah, that's external hard drive. I'll need that. So I can import my backup and stuff like that. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Okay, 1. Okay. More tangled up cords of all things. Got it backwards. Trouble is, which one of these is which? Interesting. No label. So, I'll assume the left one. Oops, if I get it in there. Okay, let's see. What else is there? MP3 player and TV tuner can both wait. So I guess it's just the internet, and I'm otherwise good to go aside from power. Can't use a computer without power, you know. Got it in reverse again. And here's the power cable. This goes to the back of the power supply. I should route this back over here. Make sure it's a good secure fit. Plug that in. Well, I think this is about the time where I finally get to see what the results are. You're getting excited?
Mm-hmm.
Get that on. Okay. Be ready to hit delete. Of course, get this fixed. Seems like there's some... Okay. So I must have the wires mixed up or something. I don't know what's going on now. Now I have no power. Made sure I lined up everything, so why isn't the power switch working? These screws have got to get moved. This pointy thing especially, yikes. So, what's the problem now? It's got to be these here. But I checked all those. Of course, there was that color mismatch and label mismatch type thing, which is kind of strange. Okay, I made sure these are plugged in. Make sure that's off. Of course, this over here is not easy to work with. Are they even all the way down or something? I checked that. Could have sworn I did. Of course, there was that unknown that wasn't marked at all. Let's see here. Make sure those are firmly anchored. I don't get it. Okay, make sure that's in there nice and snug. These are USB cables. That's in there. Those are both in there. Of course, this sound card is kind of screwed up a bit or something. Weird. Didn't see anything happening at all. It's partly why I didn't leave the cover on. Or I didn't put the cover back on, just in case something like this did happen. So I can get to it real quick. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to have to disconnect these, and that 4x1 is an oddball. I think I should be able to leave that one alone. So I ended up getting it unexpectedly anyway. Of course, with this thing all plugged in and stuff, now it's kind of hard to see. Speaker plus. It's on the right. Okay. I wonder why it's inconsistent. It's kind of weird. Okay. Let's see. One of those is orange. There's a gray. It should be an easy one to. So try matching the colors and see what happens. Let's see. Okay, which side's the positive on that one? Gray is that far back one. Okay, which one of these is the plus? So it goes this way. Okay, yep, there's two on that end over there. What color is that one? Looks like the green. Of course, I should probably get my flashlight so I can tell better. I want to make sure. Yep, that's green. Green, blue, supposedly red. So it's green on the left and then blue on the right. The green one's a screwy one. Mess. Okay, positive on the left. Okay, and then blue is positive on the right. Positive on the right. Of course, if all else. Okay. Why does this take such high precision? Okay, I got an orange one left, so it's got to be that one. And which side is positive? Can't really tell too well because I got too much junk in the way. Okay, positive's on the right. It's a good thing I can read small. Positive's on the right. So, yep, goes like this. So that must mean I have no wire for MSG. That's interesting. Something here doesn't seem right. Why are there... that's why it's off by 1. It's supposed to be 2 on the right, not 3. There we go, that's better. So... Okay.
Were they mismatched?
Well, there's an inconsistency, actually. Because what's labeled on the wires isn't matching what's in the manual. So this time I'm trying to match what's in the manual, see what happens. It's the only thing I can do. Okay. I should probably have this on the side for now. This way I can watch things. Okay, still got that on. Okay, that light's constantly on. So why is that light always on? Turn that off.
There's about 1 minute left.
Something is weird. Oh, now that light's off. I don't get this. Something is weird here. So I tried by the manual, and I tried by the color matching in here. So, what's going on? Why isn't this power button turning it on? This one's marked as speaker. Might actually have to call Gigabyte and find out what's going on here. So I'll just try matching it up based on what the labels are in here one last time. And if this doesn't do it, then I'm going to have to call Gigabyte. Find out what's going on here. Hey!
No.
Okay. Delete so I can get into the BIOS right away. Okay, let's see, which one of these? PC health status, that's the one I need. Okay, keep a close eye on that temperature. I do expect it to rise every now and then too. That was odd.
It just reset.
Yeah. I'm just watching the CPU temp and stuff like that. I was just gonna monitor it for some time. Of course, I do expect it to go up every now and then. Hmm. Of course, it is a little warm in my room, so I would expect that. Let's see, it's 25°C in my room. I don't have advanced. Okay. Make sure that I get a warning on this, because it shouldn't be too high. Of course, CPU temperature monitoring is rather intensive on the CPU, so I would expect that. CCC. Just reset again. This must mean there's a problem somewhere. Of course, I didn't save any of this. And I don't want to yet. Oh. Okay. If it resets one more time, I'm going to turn this thing off and reseat those wires, because I should not be doing that. Well, at least the CPU temp seems to be pretty stable, at least. It's not rising like crazy. Okay, that fan is working. There's current there. Sets once more on its own, then of course okay, where's that manual at? Because I want to know. Okay. 50. Ooh, that's a long ways in. Okay, that's showing normal. The V core is a little lower. In that case, it's actually a little higher. It's also a little higher. Not overclocking or anything like that, so I would expect that. Okay.
adjusting. The New World
Let's
Order.
see. I want to get that. I'm doing another test.
So how did the rolling it? How did the so now that the upgrade's all done, have you noticed any significant changes? But you gave that music up first.
Whoa. 9. Used to be 3.
What frames a second?
10? Wow, that's the highest I've seen yet. Of course, it is mostly static, so that does have its effect.
Should I throw some away?
At least this way I have something to compare to.
Wait, is this MP3 player on too?
Yeah.
I just chilled it.
Hey, careful where you're walking.
It's just a.
Yeah. Nice. Still 9, huh? This used to be 2 and 3 with occasional 1s. That's how slow I was. But now look, 9.
Yeah. You can once you're ready, to pause the music. You can talk to the camera about how the upgrade turned out.
This is 42% true speed.
I remember you playing this one faster the other day. This is from Disgaea, right?
Yeah. Which one of these is it? This one. And I saw you stepping on something. Yeah. Don't want you to hurt your foot, you know.
Yeah, thanks.
I've got a few of these things littered all around. What was that all about?
How did the door just open a little bit?
Oh. Maybe this needs to be dealt with.
Oh yeah. Just in case anyone calls.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're cool. Didn't pull anything.
Run! I just had no hair and nothing went berserk. Oh boy. What a scary looking face that thing had. Really scary.
Which one was it? Which dog?
Yeah. One of the aggressive ones. The one... They're all fuzzy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all got hair. They're all alive. They got pink bellies. They got black things that like to sniff like crazy. They got wet pink things that like to lick everything. And they got big carnivorous teeth. Kind of frightening when you think about it that way.
So, how'd the upgrade turn out? Are you noticing faster speeds?
Could they get a drink though?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, figures it's the last one in that box. You know, one thing I would kind of like to get is a scene where I'm actually processing the music from my MP3 player. Trouble is, I gotta re-download 2008 Express.
I don't think we're gonna have time for that. How long does that take?
I actually have no idea.
We have to go to the fairgrounds.
These are the storms I was referring to. They're all to the south and southwest. Those are all things usually coming from the west that I gotta watch. That's why I have it kind of off-center like this, is because everything's coming from this direction, occasionally from the south or north.
Do you like monitoring storms?
Yeah. I wish television wasn't digital, though, because otherwise I'd be using my TV right now for monitoring storms should something severe come along. But the fact everything is digital means I have no way to be informed of possible tornadoes and the such that are come. I wish there was a dedicated channel, a dedicated analog channel that was purely for weather-related warnings and the such.
Why? Why do you enjoy monitoring storms?
It's for safety. And besides, if something like golf ball size hail or something comes along, I report it to the local TV station so they can forward it to the National Weather Service or whatever that is called. And
So you make calls when severe weather. You find severe weather's coming.
well, not when it's coming, but when it actually hits. Like, for example, there was some very intense rain not too long ago, so I went outside to closely look at it to see if there was any hail. There was just little itty-bitty stuff. They're probably only an eighth inch or so, which is nowhere near the severe limits. So I had no need to report that kind of thing. The winds weren't at the 50-mile-an-hour kind of range, so even there it wouldn't be considered severe. It was just heavy rain is all it really was. But right now it looks nice and clear. Almost no wind.
Do you call people to warn them about the weather if you see it is bad?
No.
So why don't you? How did the upgrade turn out? Maybe you can talk a little bit about if you're happy with the results.
Since I'm having major problems with M2TS files, since I have no way to open them or edit them or anything like that, I am stuck having to find converters that work, and I can't seem to find anything that actually does work. Although one of them does get pretty close, So with this particular program, I've noticed that the frame rate was either 2 FPS or 3 FPS for the conversion rate for 1920 by 1080 video recorded. So, yeah, that's basically tripled now for as far as the speed goes. And that's only one core that's being used. Multiply that by the now 8 cores that I have. Yeah, that's right, 8. Well, it's actually 4 cores, but it's got hyper-threading, so there's multiple routes there. Of course, one of these, as you can tell here, is essentially maxed out. Yep, just let this thing run, and this thing I would have recalled experiencing 2 FPS, 3 FPS, even one with rare 4s, but I've seen 10s now. And so far, I really don't know what else there might be yet, but still, it does give you the idea on the kind of improvements. But right now, what I'm after is finding something that preserves the quality, and preserves the resolution, and also, most importantly, keeps pretty much everything intact. The quality, and things like that. The color space probably may end up getting changed here or there, but at least you'll know what I mean.
Are you happy with your upgrade?
So far, but I still need to do some more testing on it. So far I'm happy, but I still need to do some more testing on it.
So it was worth the money, you said?
Right now I'm still not too sure if it is worth the money, but I would say that it is pretty close.
And what are you going to do with all your old components?
Once I otherwise verify that everything's been working very well, I intend on listing all my old components, including the systems before that, such as the Pentium 4 system I had. Yeah, that's quite a long time ago. And from that, basically, well, I intend on selling them on eBay, at least get some good return on it. Because after all, I do have some fairly complete systems in a way. So at least you'll be able to build like a file server or something. That's basically what those processors are best used for. Those Pentium 4, Pentium 3 era kind of processors. They're really only good for file servers.
Did the new issue of Astronomer come yet?
No, I got Scientific American though.
Do they usually come close to each other?
They're usually.
Hopefully Astronomer comes either tomorrow or Saturday.
Or today.
Oh yeah, you didn't check them out today yet?
Nope.
Wait, where's... I can go check it. I can go check it for you.
Dad'll be home in
He'll
about
bring it in.
very shortly. In about 15 minutes or so is about usually when Dad comes home. Usually.
Can you think of anything else you'd like to say about the results of the computer upgrade?
Well, I still need more testing yet. I need to process a song or something so I can get a true comparison on that front.
How much testing do you usually do when you upgrade your computer?
Quite a bit, actually. I do quite a bit of testing.
How many different tests would you say you do?
Well, I have no idea.
What are some of the tests you do?
What are some of the tests I do? Well, one of them is video processing. That's one of the primary things I end up doing. I don't do gaming on computers much, unless of course you consider console via TV tuner, but that uses its own dedicated processor and thus really doesn't count too much. Then of course there's my processing of my music, memory dumps for example. Of course I do need to upgrade the memory I currently got on there and get a dedicated fan. From there I can try overclocking, or in that case I'll probably go to something like 4 gigahertz instead of 3.4. Not much of a change, but still. And of course, with that small change, this 9 FPS conversion rate that I have now will probably be 11.
How did you solve the problem of your motherboard shorting out?
Well, to solve the problem with the motherboard shorting out and stuff like that, I ended up calling Gigabyte a few times. Their customer service is actually very good, at least I'll give them good credit for that. However, what the problem came out to be were screws, which really didn't make much sense because I used the same screws in my previous motherboard and they were just working just perfectly fine. These screws in certain holes were causing repeated reboots and preventing the computer from even turning on at all, and it only happened in certain holes, so I had to end up moving the screws around until I found good holes where that didn't happen. And I'm not sure if that might be a factory defect or something, but of course things like that do happen. But that's basically what the whole cause of the problem was. I also couldn't use a mounting screw for my video card, strangely enough, either.
Okay.
I need to blow my nose.
How much time do you have for
40 some odd minutes.
Oh, really?
Oh, jeez.
Well, actually, about 40. Do you want to do any more in here?